And headed tournament. Well, safety one, but anyway,
The Red Lake Libero pass going right side, swing is over. Worston there in the dig. Walton.
And we wish you a good evening here from Southwestern Illinois College. It's the second straight home game for the Blue Storm. They look to continue the momentum of last night. A three-set win over Red Lake.
In that third set,
and here is how the finishing
5-0
point in that third set to get Swick to 5-0 looked and sounded.
Looking to finish it off for the Blue Storm. Gets this one over right to the Red Lake Libero. Pass going right side. Swing is over. Worston there in the dig. Waltz in the middle. She'll set. Yates right side. Swing! Got it! Swick puts it down! And that's the Blue Storm winner, number 5 on the year. Starting the season 5-0.
It wasn't the greatest start for the Blue Storm last night. Down in set one early, 5-2, but were able to battle back and take the first set, winning by 8, 25-17. And took the other two, 25-15, 25-16, in a three-set shutout, where Swick was able to just feel like they were playing their game of volleyball late in that first set. They had a few kind of slow moments throughout the second and third, but they were led by double digits in both set 2 and set 3, and were able to take a set shutout to prove to 5-0 in the year, 15-1 now in sets. We welcome in here to the Swick Volleyball pregame show. Stuart Stark with you. As always, glad to have you along, and it feels good to be back at it. I appreciate everyone tuning in last night and getting this season rolling. I'm so excited, and continue it today, and very much looking forward here to tonight, as what we had last night was Red Lake come to town, and obviously Swick and Red Lake, two of the closest. Red Lake, one of the two closest colleges to Swick. I know Kaskaskia, I think, in Centralia is closer, but Red Lake, I think the second or third. I don't know who else would be closest. Maybe, I guess, Lewis and Clark. But anyway, though, Swick in that game against Red Lake had an ex-Warrior, Red Lake Warrior from last year, Brooke Miller, who I thought had a great game last night. We had her on the post-game show. Our player of the game guest ended up having 7 kills on it with a 385 hitting percentage. She also had 2 assists as well to go into that stat line. Thought she played really well. Obviously, was our player of the game against her former team. And tonight, the Cavaliers of Jefferson College come to town, and well, it will be another ex-player from that team, as Jefferson College had the current now Swick sophomore middle Ashlyn Hughes her freshman year before she went down with an injury. So she will get to play her former school for the first time, and it comes here in the first matchup of 2 with Jefferson College. Swick will be making the return trip to Jeffco later in the month of October. But she gets to go up against her former team tonight. Obviously, we will keep the trend alive. Swick is able to pull this one out. She's probably going to hate me for it. We'll get her up for a post-game interview. Obviously, that's a long time away. We got to pull out a win against Jefferson College, who this team, by the way, were able to get to the Midwest District Tournament Championship game last season. But a team that actually went under 500 last year, which is crazy to think that they're in the Midwest District Tournament and they finished under 500. Yes, and they beat Vincennes University last season in the district tournament. This is a team that is kind of struggled, though, this season. They're 1-4 coming in. Their only win is against East Central College over in Union, Missouri. So they went and played a few games over in, I believe it was New Mexico, to open up the season, went 0-4. They'd take one of the teams to 5 sets. And I said they went 0-4. They had to play some really tough schools. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't nowhere. I don't think it was close to the competition Swick had to play opening weekend. So so you might be saying, 1-4. It should be an easy win tonight. Well, it's going to be tough. Jeffco is a good team that's had some rich history over the last few years, but did have a rough season, 9-23 last year, losing to Missouri State West Plains, in the second round semifinal of the Midwest District Tournament out of Region 16. And the Blue Storm play them this season, as it will be the Cavaliers at Jefferson College, the Blue Storm of Southwestern Illinois College. Before we get you to the second part of this sit-down interview, I did preview the season with both head coach Warren Thomas, assistant coach Kelsey Cowan of this Blue Storm volleyball program. I want to get to that here in just a moment that we had the first part on last night. I want to go ahead and just talk a little bit about the box score from last night against Run Lake. Swick hit 308 in the first set, 241 in the second, 211 in the third. They did put up 8 aces, but it came with a cost, 5 service errors, which is something that Swick is. I like this, talk about service errors. Swick is one of the best teams in the country. I think they're first or whatever in service aces. I think I said in fourth in hit percentage. But it's coming with the price to pay right now. Swick is one of the top schools in the country in service errors. They are currently 7th in the country in service errors. Jefferson College, though, is up there as well. They are currently 12th in service errors, so just a little bit behind us in that category. That's something that Swick's would like to be better on is service errors. They got to get better at serving. And another thing too, I was looking at here as well, reception errors. Swick is currently top of the country, 38th out of the 90 plus D1 programs right now. 27 serve receive errors to open up the season. Something they're going to have to work on. But everything else, though, it feels like ball control is there. Swick has averaging 10 assists per set, 2.5 blocks per set. They're hitting over 300, 4 aces per set. Like I said, I'm hoping, Swick can, they're playing, changing the out rotation. We saw that in set 2 and set 3 is different than what they had in set 1. They're still trying to figure out what's going to work, and I keep talking about it's a puzzle. They got to figure out what pieces fit. But hopefully, I don't think it's going to be long before we see Swick find that rotation. From what we've seen so far, it's been good progress to start the year. They've hit 355, 406, 311, 263, and 252 respectfully in their first 5 games to open up the season. One more stat for you real quick before I turn to the interview and get ready for the open and serve here between these two. I talked about this yesterday. I believe there was 13 Division I women's volleyball programs that went 4-0 last year to start the season. 6 of them made the national tournament. Okay, so Swick got their 5th win of the year last night. They're 5-0. How many of those schools, how many 5-0 schools last year made the national tournament? Well, there was 8 of them, 8 total programs that that started the season 5-0, and 4 of them made the national tournament. So Swick obviously feels like obviously different context from some of these programs last year into this year. But Swick, again, good spot right now, 5-0. As mentioned last night, this is their second best start. Ties their second best start since 2011. They tie their 5-0 start in 2015, and they look to tie their start in 2014. That year, they started 6-0. That's on the line tonight as it's Jefferson College coming to town out of Hillsboro, Missouri, as it's the Cavaliers in the Blue Storm coming up here in just a few minutes. Now we'll finish out that season preview interview with head coach Warren Thomas and assistant coach Kelsey Cowan here. It's been the Swick Volleyball pregame show, and here's those two as we get ready for the open and serve in less than probably 10 minutes away here from Southwestern Illinois College.
Well, all our players, the health of them,
yes.
Okay? The thing that's going to complement Ash, I call her Ash is that we have 2 other players that are, I would probably say, is just there also. One of which is a returnee from, not a returnee, but a transfer player from Rend Lake, and one that we were able to recruit in as a freshman from Cape Girardeau. And both of them they complement each other. So that's what we're looking forward to, is just trying to run that magnitude of people together and have a stronger force than we had last season.
You also look at last year, you guys are going to get Grace Johnson back as well, who is one of the best players in the kills category in the country. I mean, and you get her back. That's a lot right there. Yeah. Just talking about her development, you've seen, last 2 years coming out of high school, senior year, recruited her. Now here, I mean, she's keeps getting better and better. Yeah. I keep saying that all these players, but it's true.
No, it is true. Mid-season, she got it.
Yes.
And she kept that mentality, that physical ability about her throughout the entire end of that season, and she's just picking off where she ended this season. Her impact is going to be strong, and we look at her not only as her playing ability, but also as a team leader on our organization. So yeah.
All right, so tell me about some of these freshmen that he brought in recruiting wise. How is it going to look like on the lineup for you guys this season?
Well, one of the things that I see, which is good, is that these freshmen are their top players in their high school.
Yeah.
and also top players in their clubs that they were in. C. Pullman and Joy Hurley, they both won state championships at their school, Calhoun High School. Nalea, get her mixed up. Nalea from Cape Girardeau, again another high prospect. She was sought out by a lot of different colleges, and we were able to pick her up. Bailey Henry, she's been sought out after a lot of not just junior colleges but 4-year colleges. All of these players are just outstanding in their own way, and they're going to provide a good composite for our team to push forward. So I see a lot of good qualities that's pulling together, and I look to see that that it actually happens on the court at our level of Division One.
Yeah. Over to you, Kelsey. Talk about just talking about the freshmen. What's it been like trying to get them to get used to with everybody? It's kind of it's tough. You have pretty much almost half and half freshmen and sophomores. What's that like getting those two groups to bond?
So going back to the first day of team bonding, I think that helped so much because the sophomores explained how they built up the culture last year and what it takes to have that culture and apply that in a game as flow. Seeing them mesh and stuff has been kind of like a breath of fresh air because we haven't had to do any work. It just kind of clicks, which is great. But yeah, I owe it all to them. I think the sophomores really helped. They kind of laid the foundation out and explained what they needed to do to have that chemistry and culture.
One of the things we did on our team bonding day, they were given the opportunity to talk about things of team building or whatever, and every one of them were saying the same things that you hear from coaches, things to look forward to, things to work on, how to be on a team, those qualities that you want in your leaders. Well, guess what? Everyone was talking the same thing. So and that was a big part of that, as far as getting everyone to work together and to mesh together.
Or spot I want to talk about setting position. You guys had Aubrey Peel last year who moved on as a sophomore, and you had Addie Worson, a freshman out of Effingham, come in, and she played, I don't think it was about 15 games into the season. Unfortunately got hurt, and we just talked about being healthy.
Yes.
It's good to see her back out on the floor. What have you seen from her? She's going to have to get back to setting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how she does.
Yeah, she's working hard, and in fact, she's back to where she was. Okay, and that's through her physical ability working throughout the summer, and also with our open gyms and things that we did to work towards that. Our other setter we're bringing in, our freshman, Lacey Pullman. Like I said, she was one of the ones that won state.
Yes, won state.
She's high quality, and together they're working to supplement the entire team as far as their positions on setting, the quality they provide. I believe that it's a step up to where we have been. So I'm looking forward to seeing that produce on the court.
And it really worked out well because we had Aubrey. I kind of always called her our calm in the storm.
Yeah.
She was very level-headed. She just we say the setter is like a quarterback, and she had played that role very well. And Lacey is kind of the same way.
Yep.
She is our calm in the storm. Of course, they're very different, Aubrey and Lacey, but it's kind of the same dynamic, which is pretty cool. So
you look at all the freshmen as well. I kind of want to talk about just kind of what the recruiting process was like for some of those players, because I talked about last year, you kind of had all the players in this kind of 618 area code. I think Addie was the farthest one. I think Effingham's 2 hours away. But now you kind of have more of a dispersed out players. You got, as you mentioned, Cape Girardeau. You got a player from Brazil who was from Colorado. Just talk about just what it was like recruiting all these players, because trying to fill out a roster, I know it can be tough, but just talk about what that process was like.
You know what? I'll put it to you this way. The past 2 years, I've yet to start going back to the field level or the different websites to recruiting websites, I've been getting contacts from everywhere.
Okay.
It's almost like everyone has seen the storm.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I got a player who just signed for 2026 from East Peoria.
Yeah.
And I laud that because she had an opportunity to play at Parkland. And she chose here to come to.
Yeah.
Maybe they were already filled of that position. I don't know. But when you hear things like that, I'm always getting information from international agencies. And I'm always getting things from areas around Missouri and other places. I got one from Kentucky. I don't know what it is. Maybe well, I know what it is. Probably Kelsey's doing our social media.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing. It's growing. So
yeah. But the thing about it too, though, is that they have to be high quality, and we have an opportunity to be more selective in who we're bringing in, and I think that's working now. Just like every other college that try to do that, it's getting to where we want to be, to where it works in our favor. So,
looking at a little bit of the schedule for you guys will start off in the Rockford tournament in just about 2 weeks here on the 22nd of August, and we have our home opener on the 27th, the week after. Just talk about some of the schedule, some of the opponents you guys have this year, because I think there's some interesting ones. Just looking at some names on there. Obviously, you have the Region 24, which is going to be tough, but there's some other schools on there that are going to be interesting.
Yeah,
opponents.
The thing about it is that we have to be able to play Division I teams outside of our region.
Yes.
And I've tried to do that. I think we'll be playing 3 of them: Mineral Area, Jefferson College, and also we'll play Indian Hill up at Lakeland, I believe.
Yeah.
And those are, well, Indian Hill is the one that
we lost to.
But I believe that when you put yourself into that type of competition as a norm, then that just makes you better. We found that out, years back when we played Mineral Area, and it seemed like we weren't a match for them. They were very competitive. And now I see that where we've grown to where I want to do whatever I can in my scheduling to create that level of competition at every single match that we play.
And I think you talk about some of those schools. Either you mentioned Jeffco and Mineral Area. Those are teams we could possibly face in the Midwest tournament too. Which you talk about getting a look at them as well, as you mentioned, getting used to that type of competition.
Mm-hmm. And that has to be our mainstay though. We have to be able to do that every single season. One of the things I'm looking at is trying to introduce our program to the southern states, like down in Florida, Alabama, where that also you have that region that's very very high. In fact,
yes.
One of the Florida teams there, JUCO teams there, they're always ranked just like Parkland, the top 10, top 5 in the country every single year in Division I. Those are the prospects we need to enter, so we can continue to build our program, to build our recruitment around that, so we can be that full force, just like they are.
All right, we'll wrap it up here with one last question for you guys, both of you guys. What is the most interesting thing you guys are looking forward to this season?
I think piggybacking off of what we just talked about, setting the standard for that high level of play, I'm so excited to see how they handle the adversity and the challenges.
Yeah, I agree, especially how recruitment is going, because while we're talking here in this summer, I've had 3 to 4 people come here to be recruited, and the quality, the playability they have just keeps increasing. So now we need to make sure our footsteps are moving in that right form to where we keep that and keep it going. And this is going to be a gate for both Kelsey and I to make that happen.
All right, folks. There's our 2 coaches here for Swick Volleyball. Again, they're going to start off the season in the Rockford tournament on August 22nd and 23rd, and the home opener August 27th against Rend Lake College at 6:30. Coaches, I appreciate you both. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we welcome you in here to Southwestern Illinois College as it's the second game in a row for the Blue Storm here on this home floor, coming into tonight's game with an overall record of 5-0 as they welcome in the Vikings of Jefferson College, who come into tonight's game with the record of 1-4. Swick was able to pull out a 3-set win over Rend Lake last night and look to continue their best start since 2015. That year they started 5-0. They look to get to 6-0 tonight and make it their best start since 2014. We're looking. Starting lineup tonight is going to be the same one from last night at center, Lacey Pullman. Outside hitter, Grace Johnson. Also at outside, Bailey Henry. Layla Porter is at right side hitter. Ashlyn Hughes also in the middle, played against her former team. And the also other in the middle is Brooke Miller. And, of course, your libero tonight for the Blue Storm is Addie Waltz. Over for Jefferson College, they're going to look like this. Isabel Brown, their setter, number 2. Abigail Bowers, number 3 at right side. Bailey Moore is their outside hitter, wear number 4. Another outside, number 8, Lena Freibel. Their middle is number 10, Grace Landosier. And also in the middle is number 13, a freshman, Ava Fazio. And their libero tonight is going to be number 9, a freshman out of Columbia. They got all freshmen starting lineup tonight, no sophomores. Maria Valdez is in there as the Vikings will grab the first point of the night. Was able to get to the championship at the Midwest District Tournament last year. And looking to get back there this year. A rough start, but they had to play against some of the top schools in New Mexico. Going that in just a moment. 3 of the teams they played made the national tournament last season. Little tip over the middle by Jeffco. They're going to find a spot, 2-0 in favor of the Vikings. And Swick's got to take an early timeout as things look like all out of sorts. As Swick did not have to take a timeout at all last night, so with that, we'll take one as well. We're back in a moment. This is Swick Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Back in a moment. Two out in favor of Jeffco. Swick had to burn an early timeout here, something they did not do last night, as they were out of the timeout right away. 30 seconds still left on the clock and the timeout, and it already came out. So we'll see how they play here on the first point out of it. Porter, left-handed swing, is going to go out and hit the net and ends up going out near the left line. 3-0 in favor of the Vikings. Jeffco was able to get in the win column in their last game against East Central College in their home opener on Tuesday. This is going to be over to Porter to the left line. Ashton will go right back to Layla. She's going to hit it over. Jeffco going left side swing off the block. Henry will track it down to the corner. Going to Pullman. Left side Johnson swing. Got it, and the Blue Storm are finally on the board. Grace Johnson puts one down. Coming in to lead the team at kills. Currently coming in with 43 at 15 sets, 2.87. And she'll go back to the service line 3-1. Grace Johnson, a sophomore, one of the most experienced players on this team, had a really good freshman year last year. Served it there. Jeffco sits it back, and here's going to be a swing over by Grace Johnson again, and she's going to get back-to-back kills. And Swick will make it 3-2 early on. Grace Johnson this season has got at least 5 kills or more in the first 5 games so far, and we'll see that number go up probably to about 7 or 8 as her average. That's what it was about last year. And Swick had a very good record when she did that.
Swick currently 5-0, and she gets 5 or more. Swing coming from the right side. That one's going to be launched out, and Swick will make it 3-3 as they get 3 straight off the hidden air. These two programs have not faced off since 2014. A little bit of, I guess I don't know how to call it, but a little bit of shared, I guess, histories with Ashlyn Hughes, the former Jeffco Viking, on the Swick side now. Here's Jeffco, tip over, blocked. Vikings will send it back, going from the left side. Swing. Addie goes to her right, makes a play. Then Bailey Henry unable to get there and get it over the net, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings. They retake the lead 4-3. That last meeting was in 2014, and it was a 3-set win for the Vikings. They took that one and also took a 3-set game in 2013. 2-0. It's only 2 meetings since at least 2012, as far back as the NJCA website goes back. This will be Grace going to send one over. Jeffco coming back in the middle, set left side. Watch down line. There's going to be Pullman going to Addie. Left side. Porter, left-handed swing. Got it. And Layla Porter's on the board. Her first kill, and it's 4-4. We're all tied up. No libero for Swick as Addie Walton will come out, and we'll see Brooke Miller come back in. The player of the game last night had a hit percentage over 300 in the ball game. It's going to hit the top of the net on Ashland's serve. Jeffco will send it back. Great play by Grace, able to get to it. Pullman will set. Miller hits it over. We're going to get a net violation against the Vikings. Swick gets the point, and it's 5-4. They have their first lead of the night, and just like what happened last night, Swick did not start the way they wanted to. Went down 5-2 early. This time a little closer. Went down 3-0, though, but now taking a 5-4 lead. Vikings will send over a free ball. Grace in the middle. Pullman going to Miller inside. That's going to be blocked. Vikings were all over it. And now Henry have to send over a free ball. They're going to say double hit as 2 Swick players converged. And it'll go to the Vikings off the violation. We're tied up at 5. Addie Walton will come back in. Ashlyn Hughes out. And Swick, Jeffco tied at 5, and it will send the Vikings Zamra Yavuz, a sophomore setter out of Turkey. Miller sends this one over right to the Vikings libero. They'll throw it left side. Swing coming. He found a spot put down by Lena Freibelt. She makes it 6-5 in favor of Jeffco. They retake the lead. She came in 3rd on the Vikings roster in kills, 25 and 15, a 1.67 set average. Our serve here coming by the Vikings. This one's going to go down line. Henry. Pullman cut it, set it, so it went off of her right hand and went behind her 3 straight. And it's 7-5 in favor of the Vikings. Jeffco was on the other side of that Midwest District tournament. They played in the A portion. Swick in that B portion. There's going to be a big swing put down. Swick launched it over. And Clara Vilmer for the Vikings to send it right back. 8-5. Don't waste any time putting that one down. 3-point game. This one's going to be sent over. Miller going left side off the block. Jeffco's there. And they'll throw it to the left side. Vikings swing. Grace couldn't get there, moving to her right. And it's a kill for Lena Freibel, her second in the last few points, and it's 9-5. 5 straight by Jeffco, their largest stretch here so far. Another one is over. Blue Storm will go right side with Porter. Left-handed swing, dug out, and we're going to have a whistle. And it's going to go against the Vikings. Point for Swick on the violation. We'll take that 9-6. Needed that one. Layla Porter. And it will be Lacey Pullman out. We're going to see the first appearance of Nolea Furlow and Addie Werson. So Addie will take over the setting duties here for now. And she's back to serve. Currently second in the team in aces this year. Swing set over by Jeffco. Addie's going to be able to get there. Goes to the other Addie and Werson. And Grace sends it over. That's going to be her 3rd kill as Jeffco couldn't handle it. It's 9-7. With the Blue Storm down by 2. They've cut it in half from 4-2. Swick will get 7 days off. starting tomorrow. That's going to be ace. No one in the back line for Jeffco. Wants to go get it. Miscommunication by the Vikings, and it's 9-8. Addie Worsted picking up service ace number 14. Only one behind her setting partner and Lacey Pullman, who has got 15. That swing is going to be put down as Grace couldn't handle on the dig. It's a kill. Jeffco gets it back 10-8. Swick will hit the road for Vincennes on Friday. Next Friday it'll be a two-game day, 2 o'clock, I believe it's 2 o'clock Central because they're in that Eastern time zone. I believe it's 2 o'clock Central against Vincennes in region play. Another point for Jeffco, 11-8. And then we'll get Mineral Area at 4 o'clock. And it's 11-8 now in favor of the Vikings. Next one's going to be over. Johnson going in the middle of Walton. Will throw it left side for Furlow. That swing is going to be put over, and it's going to be a kill as the Vikings libero got there with Valdez, but couldn't follow it up with a teammate. Point for Swick. Back within 2, 11-9. See Bailey Henry back to serve. She had a good game last night as well. I believe she hit, I want to say it was close to 400 or over 400. There's no touch there. That one goes out. Jeffco wanted a touch, and they're going to change the call. They're going to say there was a touch, and it's 12-9. And a point for the Vikings. Up by 3. They're going to send Grace Landers back to serve. Couple Missouri kids on this Jeffco roster. 7 of their 16 are from the great state of Missouri. That one's going to be out, and Swick will not get the touch they're looking for. And it's 13-9. Jeffco back by 4. Early season test here for Swick going up against Jeffco, who has been consistent, have had some good years in their history. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Henry's there on the dig, going to go to Worston. We'll throw it left side for Johnson, swing off the block. Jeffco is there. They'll throw it over to the left. That one's launched out, no touch. And a point for the Blue Storm. It's 13-10. Jeffco had their worst season last year, 9-23, worst season since 2018. That year they went 5-21. Walton will serve it for Swick. It'll go right side. Jeffco sends it down line. Walton's there, finds Hughes. She tips it over. Jeffco going right side again. Off the block. Got it, and a point anyway, as they're going to call a violation on Swick. And it's 14-10. Swick just has not found that rhythm since going up 6-5. But all Jeffco since then. This next one's going to be over. Johnson's there on the receive. We'll go to Worston. Hit over by Hughes. She found a spot. And there's Ashland getting her first kill against her former team. First one of the night, and we'll see if she can start putting some more of those down. 14-11. As Worston and Furlow will come out. Pullman and Porter back in for Swick. You see Pullman will serve it. Freshman out of Hardin, Illinois, played high school volleyball at Calhoun High School. That one's going to be launched out, and they're going to say another touch on the swing. That's what's been heard at Swick so far, 15-11. Vikings back up by 4. Paige West, a sophomore defensive specialist, back to serve for the Vikings. This one's going to be sent over. Henry going left side for Pullman. Hughes in the middle. Did not get a touch. Threw it out down the left line, and Jeffco has their largest lead tonight, 16-11. It was 6-5 in favor of Swick. Since then, an 11-5 run in favor of the Vikings. And it's going to be a double hit on Grace Johnson. 17-11, about midway through set 1. Vikings with their largest lead of the night so far. Left-handed swing, this one's going to be over. Walton will go right side for Johnson. She'll send over a free ball. Vikings in the middle. Swing, big block by Ashland Hughes. There we go. The sophomore
puts the hands up for the block, and it's 17-12. Currently leading the team in total blocks with 20 on the season. That's number 21 right there for her. Grace Johnson will serve this one over. Second time serving, and there's Ashlyn again. As Jeffco hit it near the net, she got it, the ball over just a little bit enough to put it back over. It's Wicks within 4, 17-13. Another serve. This one's going to be over. Vikings in the middle. We'll throw it left side. Tip over down line. Pullman's there. Porter responds, and Walton sends over with the right hand. Got it over on that third hit. Vikings send it back. Free ball coming. Walton in the middle of Pullman. Will set Hughes. Tip over's denied, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings as it put Ashlyn in a tough spot. The ball coming right at her, where she stuck up against net, ended up hitting it twice. It's 18-13. Vikings will send back their libero. Maria Valdez to serve it for the second time. 18-13, Swick down by 5, set 1. Try to keep this winning streak alive to open up the year. And Hughes launched that one out. 19-13, a couple of hitting errors early on by Swick, and haven't had the greatest luck on errors. Just talking about service errors, 7th worst in the country at 46. Serve receive, not great either, in the top 40 for the most serve reception errors. There's Bailey Henry getting one down. That's her second kill. Brooke Miller will come back in. No libero in. Addie Walton, she comes out. Ashlyn Hughes serving it for the second time. Hit it too strong and out. 20-14. Vikings, the first team to 20 tonight here in set 1. Hughes will come out. Walton back in. Jeffco will send Zumra Yaus back to serve. Henry will hit it over. Johnson gets it back. Will go to Miller. Down the left line, just going to be out. 21-14. It's the Vikings' largest lead of the night so far. It's not starting well here for Swick. Another serve coming here for the Vikings. This is going to be Henry in the middle for Pullman. Porter going left side. That one's going to be blocked. Pullman will throw left side with Henry. Her swing's going to be blocked. Bailey there again on the rebound. Will go to Pullman. Now Grace with the back row. Jeffco all over it. Will send it over. Pullman going backwards to Walton. Now left side Henry. Swing over to the back right corner. Jeffco's libero tracks it down. Now we'll throw it right side. Swing. Grace is there in the dig. Going to go to Pullman. Sets Miller in the middle. Blocked. Point for the Vikings. 22-14. They're within 3. Grace Landosier on the block for Jeffco. 22-14. Another serve is going to be over. Pullman going right side for Porter. Off the block. Henry was there. End up hitting over and out. 23-14. And a rough into this first set. Swick unable to capture that first set, 25-14 in favor of the Vikings, as Swick was up 6-5 early on and fell behind after a Jeffco run, went down. I think Vikings had 5 straight, went down by 4, then could not catch up after that and ended up winning 25-14, a double-digit win in set 1. Swick out here to start. Set 2 will be Grace Johnson, number 9, Ashlyn Hughes, number 13, Layla Porter, number 12, Lacey Pullman will be the setter, wearing number 7, Bailey Henry, number 10, and Brooke Miller will start at middle, but she's going to go in and come out, and it'll be Addie Walton, your libero, wearing number 17 out there to start this second set. Vikings 1-4, went 0-4 in New Mexico and had to play some tough schools. 3 of them made the national tournament last year, which included the likes of Eastern Arizona and New Mexico Military. I think it's Institute or College, and lost those in 3 and 4 sets respectfully. Here's the Vikings. They'll send it over as we're underway in the second set. Swicka's over on your right side, going right to left. Ashlyn will send it over. She had, I believe, a kill, 2 kills and a block in set 1, and not much with after that. The Vikings had the momentum late in set 1 and carried it to a double-digit win. Here's a swing put down by the Vikings. Swick will send it back over on the dig. Vikings go into the middle. Swing. Addie's there. Goes off the net. Johnson will go backwards. Walter couldn't get there, and the Vikings are on the board first. It's 1-0. Jeffco got the opening point here in set 1. And they take the opening point here in set 2. Another serve coming over by the Vikings. This could be Johnson. Her swing's going to be sent over. Vikings bringing it back in the middle. Ashley got a hand on it, I believe. And Jeffco comes back to the right side. Found the spot in the back line, 2-0. Not the greatest start for Swick either in the second set. Down 2-0 early. Another serve. This one's going to be over. Henry going in the middle to Pullman. Ashley, there we go. Ash puts one down, 2-1. Swick on the board here in set 2. 2-1. The score. Swick on the board here in the second set. Ex-Viking coming through. Grace Johnson will serve it here for Swick. Vikings going left side. Swing, hit the antenna. 2-2, tied up. All tied up. Another serve over by Grace. It's going to go into net. 3-2. As I mentioned in set 1, Swick had the issues so far. You saw it there these first 6 games. Coming in with 46 servers, they're 7th worst in the country. I talk about the aces. Yeah, you got 66 in 5 games. That's the best in the country. You're averaging 4.13 aces percent. That's 2nd best in the country. That's great, but it's all coming with the price to pay. That one's going to be out 3-3. You have so many service errors. Swick still looks good on hitting percentage. Currently hitting .307 as a team coming into tonight. Addie Walton back to serve. Bluestone libero. That one's going to be Vikings. Send it over. That one's going to be blocked. Vikings going right side. Swing. Got it. Went right off of Grace Johnson's hands on the dig. Abigail Bowers, the freshman right side, puts it down 4-3. Be the Vikings libero Maria Valadez back to serve. So go right to Addie on the receive. Miller in the middle, yes! Tied up at 4. I believe Layla Porter had the assist on that. She set her up. Layla and Lacey will come out. We'll see Addie Worston coming back to serve, and Alea Furlow also in, the freshman middle out of Cape Girardeau. It's one of those guys head coach Ward Thomas was very excited about to have on this roster. I talked to him a few weeks ago and trying to get her going into the net. And Jeffco retakes the lead 5-4. Mentioned it last night, some really talented freshmen on this roster, and it's all about trying to get them used to JUCO volleyball, especially at the Division I level. It's different than D2 or D3, especially going up against the team at Jefferson College tonight. These, as you can tell, there's some athletes on the other side. Miller tried to tip it over, is blocked. Swick will bring it back left side. Furlow dug out by Valdez, the libero.
And Jeffco will send it back into the net. 5-5 as the left-handed swing from Paige West goes into the net. The sophomore defensive specialist. Tied up at 5. Jeffco will send it back. And it's going to be a point for the Vikings, 6-5. Swick looking to go on a run. They scored 4 straight early on in set 1. Gave them their first lead. That's the only time they led after that on that 4-0 run. Jeffco had a couple runs after that. Ended up winning by double digits. Miller tracks it down. It's going to be a long free ball coming and too long of a one. Walton goes from the back line on Swick's side to the back line of Jeffco's side. A little bit too strong and out. (7-5). Vikings by 2. Worson going to Grace. There we go. There's a spot. Grace Johnson puts one down at 7-6. Walton will come out. Hughes will come in, no libero. Brooke Miller back to serve. Went up against her former squad last night in Ren Lake. Swing on the left side, and that's going to be in on the back line. Just found a spot. 8-6 goes back to Jeffco. Vikings will send Grace Landoseer back to serve, and Ashland sends it back over. Vikings trying to get it over the third hit, unable to. There's the point for Swick. They get one right back. And it's 8-7. Back to a 1-point game. Swick will try a tie it here. A couple substitutions. Lacey Pullman. Layla Porter back in. It'll be Addie Worson and Alea Furlow out. And serve by Pullman will go into net. 9-7, back up by 2. And another service there by the Blue Storm. This Jeffco roster, 14 total players, 5 of them sophomores, all 5 of them returners from last year's team who I call it a little bit of a Cinderella run they were able to do last year. Hughes sends it over, too strong and out, 10-7. Fell to middle area, which to play them in 5 sets in the Region 16 tournament. Very impressive. Lost in 5. This will be sent over by Porter. Vikings will come back. And they get a kill put down. Lena Freibel on the kill, makes it 11-7. Vikings made the Midwest District tournament. You get 3 teams in Region 16. All 3 of them come in and make the tournament. They were on the Vincennes side who hosted that tournament. Ashland, there we go. Gets it back 11-8. And then to take on John A. Logan, who I thought was playing some solid volleyball going into that week. I believe they lost to Vincennes in the semifinal that previous weekend in the Region 24 tournament, and then took down Lakeland in 3 in the third place game. I thought they were playing good volleyball. They lost to them lost to Jeffco in 5 in the first round. Then you go to the semifinals, take on the host Vincennes, as there's another one put down by the Vikings, 12-8. Defeated them in 5. Vincennes, another good team. They were playing well. I believe they were a team that had to bye in that first round, and then end up falling to their fellow Region 16 foe in Missouri State University West Plains in 3 in that championship match, 25-16, 25-13, 25-9. Grace will go to Pullman. Right side for Porter. Left-handed swing's going to be blocked. Pullman there on the rebound. Goes to Walton. She'll throw it left side for Gibbs, who checked in and try to go down line and ends up going out. Came in for Bailey Henry. And Swick down by 5, 13-8. Not the greatest start to tonight. Wasn't expecting this all, especially with how well Swick played in moments last night against Red Lake. Hughes in the middle. That one's going to be blocked. Jeffco will come back in the middle. We'll throw it left side. Swing coming. There's going to be Johnson. Pullman going to the left with Gibbs. Swing. Dug out by Jeffco. They'll try it again. Right side. Swing, tip over, launched it out in the left line, 13-9. To be fair, Swick's competition through the first 5 do not match with Jefferson College. The Vikings have easily been the toughest test so far for Swick. Waltz will serve this one here. Had to play a couple D2. It's going to be put down, 14-9. Had to play a D2 program in Southwestern Michigan, who I thought was a little bit of going to be issues on last weekend. And Swick will have to take a timeout. Down by 5, 14-9 early on. Midway on here through this second set. Swick trailing. We're back in a moment. This is Swick Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel here from Southwestern Illinois College. Swick had to burn a timeout, their first of the set, down 14-9, their largest deficit so far here in set 2. Out of the timeout, there's Brooke Miller saying hello, 14-10. Swick able to execute right out of the timeout. Addie Worson and Nalea Furlow in. It will be Lacey Pullman and Layla Porter out. And it'll be Addie Worson back to serve, sophomore out of Effingham. Gets one over. Jeffco going to the left side. Swing. Worcester trying to track it down on the right line. It'll end up hitting it over to the Swick bench. And it's 15-10. Vikings up by 5. Vikings will get this one over to Johnson. Addie in the middle for Brooke. Yes! 15-11. Brooke Miller with back-to-back kills. Bailey Henry will come in. Maddie Gibbs will come out. Have to try a couple different things here for Swick here. Henry will serve this one. Have that mostly that same rotation from set 1. That one's going to be out. Swick gets 2 straight. Now pull within 3, 15-12. So it'll be Henry back to serve once again. Sorry, Bailey Henry does get that one over. Jeffco, left side. Addie got to it, went behind her, and Walt's unable to track it down, 16-12 off the touch. Vikings up by 4. Swick is trying to keep their 5-0 start of the season alive, but looking tough here midway through the second set after dropping the first. Miller roll shot that one too strong. It goes out 17-12. Swick entered tonight, as I mentioned, 5-0 and only 8 Division I JUCO women's volleyball programs last year started 5-0 with 4 of them going on to make the national tournament. Johnson swing, blocked on the right side. Vikings up by 6, 18-12. Jeffco in control. Blue Storm have not, this has not felt like an opportunity, a moment where they've had an advantage or felt like they're in somewhat of control here over the last about 20 minutes. There's going to be a tip over by Swick. And they do get a point back, 18-13. We'll see Brooke Miller back to serve. This one's going to be all right to their libero on the receive. Vikings throw it left side, swing. Henry's going to be there. Worsen, tip over, sent back by Lando Sear, and it's going to be a point for Swick as they're going to call it a lift. We'll take that. Swick 3 straight. Starting to hopefully chip away at it. Another serve coming here for Brook. That one's going to get over. Vikings will throw it left side, swing, launched over, and Henry and Miller converge. And does not find another teammate on the hit by Henry. Goes to the floor, 19-14, Vikings by 5. Lando Sear will serve this one. Walton there on the receive. Worsen going to Hughes. Too strong and out, no touch. 20-14, Vikings back up by 6. Another serve. This one will go to Henry. In the middle to Worsen. Will set Johnson left side. That one's going to be off the block. Vikings coming back. Left. Got deflected off the Swick player on the block. Off the touch, 21-14. Vikings within 4. Another serve coming by Landers here, so go to Henry. Worsen will throw it for Hughes. Tip over, that's going to be denied. Furlow goes to Worsen. It'll go to Henry off the set, and that one's out of the back line. Couple more hidden errors. 22-14. Swick lose their last time out of set 2. 22-14 late in the second set in favor of the Vikings. They have their largest lead so far. We're back in a moment. This is Blue Storm Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. They dropped the first, 25-14. 22-14 now in the second set. They'll throw it here for Johnson. They'll send it over on a free ball. Landers here in the middle. Go left side. Swing is over. Ashland's there going to Addy. We'll throw it left side for Grace. Got it. Swick able to execute right out of the timeout. And the Blue Storm pull within 7, 22-15. Worsen and Furlow out. It'll be Pullman and Porter coming back in. The freshman setter out of Harding, Illinois, back to serve. This one is going to be over, and it's going to be an ace. There we go. Lacey Pullman, her first of the night, number 16 on the year. Down by 6. 22-16. Another one is over right in the middle. Jeffco will set it left side. Swing, got it, put down. Bailey Moore, the freshman outside out of Pacific, Missouri, pulls the Vikings within 2. 23-16. Next one is going to be over. That's going to be Henry. Goes to Walton. Left side for Porter. Ribero's there for the Vikings. Will throw it right side, swing, dunk out by Henry near the line. I think Jeffco could have probably let that one go out. They played it anyway, and they sent it back over. Henry, after the hit by Walton, will have to go to Gray. She sends over a roll shot for hit number 3. Vikings, left side, swing, found a spot as Addie jumped up, went kind of above her, and still found a spot down the right line. And it's set point here in set 2 in favor of the Vikings, 24-16. Next one's going to be over. Layla going to the middle to Lacey. Right side for Grace. It's Swick backs against the wall. Need to get 8 straight here on this run. Walton going to Pullman. This will go to Bailey. She'll send it over in the middle. Jeff goes there, throwing it right side. Here comes a swing. It's going to be launched out. Do we have a touch? We do. And it's going to be set 2 in favor of the Vikings, 25-16. They have taken the first 2, and Swick will need to pull 3 straight together if they want to find a way to keep their winning streak alive to start this season. The Vikings have taken 2 straight, 25-14, 25-16. They look for the set shutout when we come back. Back in a moment. This is Swick Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Swick will need to find a way here to get 3 straight sets won as the Vikings have taken the first 2, 25-14, 25-16. Swick in a little bit of trouble as the Blue Storm will start off the 3rd set. Without there on the floor will be Grace Johnson, Ashlyn Hughes, Layla Porter, Maddie Gibbs, Brooke Miller, and Lacey Pullman. Addie Walton's going to come in. We'll in the see when she'll come in for on rotation. As the Vikings won 25-14, 25-16. That's now marked 5 straight sets won for Jeffco on the season. It's going to be Ashlyn Hughes, actually. And hold on. So Brooke Miller will come out, and then Bailey Henry will be out for Ashlyn Hughes. So it's just going to be Johnson, Porter, Hughes, Gibbs, Pullman, and the libero Walton out there. Pullman serving for Swick. Vikings, 5 straight sets won. Swick has dropped their first 2 consecutive sets all season. The only time they lost a set was in the 3rd set of their game against Olive Harvey back on the 23rd of August. Won in 4, lost that set 25-22. Was run away in the 3rd set. Swick back on your left side of the screen, moving left to right. Jeffco sending it back. This will be Gibbs in the middle for Pullman. Ashlyn sends it over. Vikings will throw it left side. Swing, blocked. Goes out of bounds off of Swick. And Jeff goes on the board here to start the 3rd set, just like they did in sets 1 and 2. I think the key here in this 3rd set will be a strong and quick start. Vikings will send Paige West back to serve. Sophomore defensive specialist. Backup libero, we have the freshman out of Columbia, Maria Valdez, in that libero spot. Grace goes one down the line. We're tied up at 1. Need Grace Johnson to get it going here. She was big time performer last season. She's going to be back to serve here. Jeffco sends it over. Grace gets there. Will go to Pullman. In the middle of Hughes. Swing. Got it. Ash is on the board here at set 3, and it's 2-1. Swick with 2 straight. They have their first lead here at set 3. If I can remember correctly from last season, Swick did not come back and win any game down 2-0 in sets. And they're going to say Ash went over the net. Try to put the hands up on the block and going to say she went over the line. We're tied up at 2. Swick had that almost unbelievable comeback against Vincennes in that Region 24 championship game last year. Just a game that, well, what could have happened if you were able to win that one? And to your point for Jeffco 3-2, able to put them on the other side of the district tournament. Also would have won the Region 24 championship, something they haven't done at the Division I level. Only the second year here at the D1 level for the Blue Storm. His next serve is going to be over. Walton will send it over on a free ball. Goes to her libero counterpart, and it comes right back to her to kill. Jeffco with 3 straight. They lead 4-2. Another serve. This will go to Johnson down line. Pullman sends it to Porter, left hand swing. Got it. Swick gets it off the touch. Pulls back within 1. It's 4-3. Ash will serve it here for the Blue Storm. This one's going to be over. Vikings going right side. Sends over. Grace, I think she was the one that hit it. Her and Ashland right at the ball. Does get over nonetheless. Vikings swing left side off the block and a lay at 5-3. No momentum, no run by Swick in this ball game, and they just have not been able to string a couple good points together. Miller gets it back within 1. She puts one down, 5-4. Game. Addie Worson and Alea Furlow in the ball game. Lacey Pullman and Layla Porter out. This one's going to be over to the Jeffco Libero. They'll sit in the middle. And a put down swing. Got it. Grace Orlando Sear makes it 6-4. Vikings by 2. They're going to send Lena Freibel to serve. This will go to Johnson. Addie gets it over to Brooke. That one's over. Vikings coming back with a free ball into the middle to Walton. Worsen to Furlow. There we go. Nalea Furlow, I believe that might be her first of the night. The freshman out of Cape Girardeau. Pulls Swick back within 1, 6-5. It'll be Maddie Gibbs back to serve. Freshman out of Plainsville, Illinois. That one's going to be over. Vikings send it back, and Gibbs trying to make a play on it, end up launching it out. 7-5. Bailey Henry will come in. It'll be Gibbs coming out for her. Be good that Swick will have 7 days of rest after this ball game. Gonna have to find a way to regroup. Again, it's early on. I kind of look at early season. I said this a little bit last night as well. You kind of don't really take much of this. I mean, obviously it's tough results. The Swick gets one back 7-6, but it's early on. It's a long season. 7-6. Brooke Miller back. Oh, come out. Ashlyn Hughes back in. Walton back to serve. This is a tough stretch here. Tonight, the next 2, Vincennes and Miller area to follow after this next week. That one's going to be out. And we're tied up at 7. So a lot of time here as we're just underway early in set 3. Addie will serve this one. That one's going to go to the libero counterpart in Valdez. Vikings, left side swing.
That one's out. Henry was going to go for it, ended up letting it go. 8-7, Swick has the lead. It's launched out by Bailey Moore. She came in leading the Vikings in kills to start the year, 38-15. It's about 2.5 average per set. And that's going to be another point for Swick. 9-7, and Swick's up by 2. It's their largest lead of the night so far. Scored 4 straight on this run. Walton will serve another one here. This one's going to be over. Jeffco in the middle. Swing right back to Walton. Couldn't handle it. 9-8, 1-point game. Vikings will send back their freshman setter, Isabel Brown. Brown with 68 assists in 15 sets so far, about 4.5. And there's going to be Grace Johnson getting it back to a 2-point lead. It's 10-8. Their other setter in Samara Yalvez, 52 in 15, averaging 3.5 as well. Worsen and Furlow out. Pullman Porter back in. It will be Lacey serving it into the net, and another service there by Swick. Say this confidently, and I needed numbers in front of me. This has been Swick's worst game hitting the ball. There's not many kills and too many errors. They haven't played like this in their first 2 games so far. They've hit really, really well in all 4 games of the tournament. And then Ren Lake last night. That's another point for Jeffco. We're tied up at 10. In fact, Swick in their 16 sets, 14 of them they've hit 118 or higher. I know most of them are over 200, but they're 14-0 in sets when they hit 118 or higher coming in. That one's into the net. On the service there by the Vikings. Swick retakes the lead 11-10. Bailey Henry will come out. Maddie Gibbs will come in for her. Next one's going to be over. Vikings try to get over in the third. Hit. They do. Great play by the libero and Valdez. Porter, left-hand swing, block. Grace is there. We'll go to Gibbs. Left side. Gibbs will hit it over. Vikings can't make a play. Swick gets the point, 12-10. Back up by 2. We're in set 3. This will be Johnson. Going to launch that one out. Another service there. 46 of them coming into tonight, 7th worst in the country. And a couple of those schools, I believe, ahead of them had 6 games played, so they had a game up on Swick in that category, unfortunately. So be Pullman to go left side for Porter, left-handed swing. Vikings are there. They'll throw it left side. Here comes the swing coming. That one's going to be off the block. Goes to the right of Porter and Hughes. It goes out. We're tied up at 12 again. 12-12 midway through set 3. Serve here for the libero and Valdez. Freshman out of Columbia. This one's going to be launched over by Gibbs. Vikings send it back down line. Pullman there. Going to go to Hughes. Left side for Porter. That one's sent over. Vikings middle. Throw it to the right side. Swing. Block. There we go. Maddie Gibbs had the hands on that one. And it's 13-12. Swick retakes the lead. With 2.44 blocks per set, 16th best in the country. There's one there. Hughes will serve this over for Swick. Vikings coming back right side. Ashland's there in the middle. We'll go to Miller. Right side for Porter. Little tip over in the middle. Vikings throw it left side. Swing. Block. Going backwards. Vikings will retreat, track it down. Landis here. Free ball hits the top net over. In the middle for Miller. Dug out. Vikings were there. They're going to go right side swing. Johnson up in the air. Hughes. Pass. Left side Gibbs. Swing. Jeffco tracks that down near the back line. Now left side. Pullman. Tip over. Sent back by Lando Sear. And that's going to be a kill. 13-13. Just threw it right to her. That when that ball gets hit right to when you're right in front of the net, they tell you just to put it straight down. And Lando Sear
mostly did that. Found a spot that would have been tricky for Swick to get to. We're tied up at 13. Next one is over. Gibbs going to Pullman. Miller sends it over. Jeffco laying out, is able to get there. Here comes a swing, roll shot from the right side. Pullman going to go to Johnson. Porter will send over a free ball. Vikings coming back in the middle. Will go left side swing. Off the block. Pullman is there. Walton will set Gibbs. Swing left side. Block. Landoucey was there. She put the hands up. 14-13. And Jeffco retakes the lead. They're up by 1. 14-13. Another serve is over. Pullman going to Gibbs. Dug out by Valdez. Jeffco coming back. Johnson. Pullman. Right side. Porter swing. Dug out again. Vikings all over it. Will go right side. Swing again. Pullman is there. Walton. Right side for Porter. Swing. Jeffco coming back. Left side swing. Grace hits it near the net. Brooke sends it back. She found a spot. Tied up at 14. One of those tricky balls that goes right by the net. And Brooke found a spot down the left line. We're tied up at 14. First will serve it for Swick as her and Furlow in. Porter and Pullman out. She's going to get an ace. Swick retakes the lead. Addie Worsted with ace number 14 of the season. Came in second tonight. Leading the team at assist as well, 74 in 16. And that's going to be another ace, back-to-back. She will tie her setting partner in Lacey Pullman on the season in aces. As it's 16-14, Swick up by 2, tying their largest lead once again. This one's going to be over. Vikings swing, block. Brooke was there. They'll retry it again, this time from the left side. Addie going to set Grace over. They found the back line. She did. The sophomore gives Swick their largest lead, 17-14. Looking to find some late life here at set 3. And Jeffco will take their first timeout of the night. It's been a long time coming as they have dominated in the first 2 sets. Swick late lead, 17-14 in the third set. We're back in a moment here from Southwestern College. This is Swick Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Swick leading by 3, and then Jeffco called a timeout. They execute right out of it. Lena Freibel, the freshman outside, makes it 17-15. The freshman out of Poland coming through. 2-point lead. Lena Freibel, the freshman, will serve it. This one's going to be over. Blue Storm. Worsen will set Miller, and they're going to say it did hit the floor. Swick does get the point on the kill, 18-15. Swick almost prematurely celebrated, but it will count. It's 18-15. Up by 3. Another serve here for Gibbs. This one's going to be over. Vikings will throw it in the middle. Free ball coming over. Gibbs will go to Worson in the middle of the Miller swing. Dug out. Vikings are there. We'll throw it left side. Gibbs in the middle. Worson left side for Johnson, looking for another one. Got it. Swick up by 4, 19-15. Grace Johnson leading the team in kills, leading tonight in kills. Almost averaging 3% as Gibbs will serve this one over. The Vikings will go left side. Walton's there in the middle to Worson, and we're going to get a double hit, it looks like, or violation. Might have called it on Miller. It looked like 23, so it looked like it probably was a net. 19-16. Gibbs will come out. Bailey Henry back in. Lander Sear will serve. She is second on the team in kills, 29 in 15 sets. Almost averaging 2 kills per set. Miller, roll shot into the net. 2 straight, and Swick's only up by 2. (19-17). This one's going to be over. Walton, throw right side for Furlow. It's going to take a free ball. Worson's able to get it over. Vikings going left side. That one's going to be out. And Swick is the first team to 20 here in this third set, 20-17. Walton will serve it as Miller came out. Hughes back in. Jeffco in the middle. Walton able to get there. We'll go to Worson now right side for Furlow. Vikings coming back. Set left side swing off the block. Worson able to get there. Walton threw it back left corner. Henry couldn't track it down. 20-18. Jeffco by 2. Sorry, Swick by 2 here. And Swick will take a timeout late, trying to hold on to this lead, see if we can force a 4th set. Vikings have pulled it from 4-2. We're back in a moment. This is Swick Volleyball, the Swick Athletics YouTube channel here from Southwestern Illinois College. Give me Grace Johnson right out of the timeout. Puts one down. Swick up by 3, needed 4. Pullman will serve it. Came in. Hurt and Porter in for Furlow and Worson. This one's going to be over. Walton going to Pullman. Ashland in the middle. Got it. 22-18. Ashland Hughes pulls Swick within 3 in this third set. Talked to Ashland this morning. And just like Brooke yesterday, both those guys or girls very kind of nervous going up against their former schools. And Swick backs against the wall here as Porter's going to get a kill. 23-18. Swick within 2 on the Jeffco lift. Largest lead now with 5. Swick take the set after dropping the first 2. Vikings coming back. Big swing. Swick sends it right back. They'll go again left side. That is going to be with more. Now Grace. Got it off the block. Grace Johnson pulls us within set point. Here at set 3, it's 24-18. Can Swick send this to a 4th set against the Vikings? Pullman, service over. Gets it over. Vikings in the middle. Swing. Found a spot. We'll see if Jeffco has a little rally in him. Paige West back to serve it. Left-handed serve. Goes right to Henry in the middle. Pass to Pullman, goes to Hughes. She puts it down. Ashland, the ex-Vikings, sends us to a 4th set. Swick comes back, dropping the first two, 25-14, 25-16. We come back, take the 3rd, and let's see if we can take the 4th. Swick gets the 3rd set, 25-19. We'll switch sides. Get you ready for the 4th set back in a moment here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Vikings took 2 3-set shutouts in 2013, 2014. And Swick dropped the first 2 tonight. Looking to tie this one up in sets now after taking the 3rd, 25-19. And we will see out there here for Swick as they're now back on your right side of your screen. As they'll move right to left. It will be Ashlyn Hughes, Grace Johnson, Layla Porter, Lacey Pullman, Maddie Gibbs, Brooke Miller, Addie Walton, your libero, waiting to come in for one of the 6 on the floor. Swick coming into tonight, in their first 5 games, have not dropped 2 consecutive sets. In fact, have not dropped any of the first 2 sets in a ball game. Did that tonight. But Swick trying to make a little history tonight. I believe they did not come back down 2-0 in sets, come back and win the game at all last year. As they will look to do that here, keep this win streak alive. Start 5-0. It's their best start since 2015. That year they started 5-0. Looking to make it their best start since 2014, where they started 6-0, and not the greatest start here at set 4 as it goes to the Vikings, as Swick will hit it into the net. Jeffco now with the opening point in all 4 sets tonight. Vikings will serve it here. This will be Isabel Brown, their leading setter. Grace on the right side. She's really taking this game over here in that 3rd set.
Vikings send it over. Gibbs able to track it down line as Walton came in for Miller to open up the set. Vikings will throw it middle, go left side, swing coming for more into the net, and we're tied up at 1. Grace Johnson back to serve. This one will be over by Grace. Sent over. Addie sends it right back. Vikings, middle, swing, put down, got it. Ava Fazio had seen much of her tonight. The freshman middle out of Owensboro, Kentucky, makes it 2-1. 2-1 lead in favor of the Vikings. Swick trying to build off this season last year. First year at the Division I level, went 26-14, 15-4 in conference play. This will go to Walton in the middle of the Pullman. Left side, Gibbs, swing, got it. We're tied up at 2. It's Maddie Gibbs, the freshman out of Plainsville, Illinois, ties things up. Ashlyn Hughes will come out. Brooke Miller in. Addie Walton back to serve. Sophomore out of Columbia. That one's going to be an ace for Addie and makes it 3-2. Swick takes their first lead of the third set for Walton. That is going to be ace number 7 on the season, who I believe was second in program history in her high school for Diggs. That one's going to go right back to Jeffco on the kill. We're tied up at 3. As mentioned last night, moves into the libero spot this year. Played defense specialist last year with sophomore libero Emily Rupert, moving on this year to Greenville. We just started their season, I believe, last week. There's going to be a kill on the right side. 4-3 again. Blue Storm back by 1. Addie Worson, Alea Furlow in. Lacey Pullman and Layla Porter out. Kind of seeing these group of players that Swick has sticked with here tonight after last night. Changing things up in that set 2 and set 3. There's going to be a kill on the right side. Coming back, Abigail Bowers. Ties things up at 4. Jeffco will send back. Somewhere Yaya is on the service line. Vikings will serve. This will go to Furlow on the receive. Walton going right side for Gibbs. Swing, launched over, tracked down by the libero. They'll go back to the left. That one's going to be blocked. Vikings again. They'll go right side this time instead of going left. Johnson's there, knocks it down, and it'll go to Worcester on a free ball. She gets it over. Vikings near the corner, miscommunication. They kick it alive. That's not going to get over the third hit. Should have been a kind of an easy play for Jeffco. No one got there off the miscommunication. And Swick will take advantage of the air. It's 5-4. Gibbs serving at the freshman. And Vikings will get it over. That's going to be the third hit after it was blocked. Worson, right side Furlow, had it blocked, sends it back. Going to be out. Tied back up at 5. There. Bailey Henry will check in for Maddie Gibbs. Vikings sending Lena Freibel to serve. Goes right to Henry. Addie in the middle for Brooke. Got it! 6-5 in favor of Swick. Brooke Miller coming into tonight, third in the team in the kills department. 2.20 average per set. Re-gives Swick the lead. Now we'll go back to the service line. This one's going to be over. Vikings going left side. Swing. It's going to go right off of Hughes to her left. Spun as it hits the floor. We're tied back up at 6 on the kill by Bailey Moore. Vikings will send Grace Landosier So a great night for Jeffco to the line. She'll launch that one out too strong. 7-6. Swick back by 1. 2 substitutions here. Furlow and Worsen out. Pullman and Porter in, and it will be Pullman serving. Lacey will serve this one. Gets this one over. Vikings in the middle. We'll throw it right side. Swing. Got it. Got it down that right line. Tied back up at 7. Isabel Brown serving this one. Tied up at 7. Going to be an ace. The freshman setter out of Jackson, Missouri. Gives Jeffco the lead back, 8-7. This one is going to be over. Porter will go to Hughes. Right side for Johnson. That one's going to be over. Vikings get there in time. We'll throw it left side. Got it off the block, 9-7. 3 straight. Jeffco by 2. And it's going to be an ace. Went right past Henry, moving to her right. Jeffco by 3. 4 straight, make it 10-7. Next serve is over. Walton going to Pullman. Right side, Johnson swing, going to be blocked. Henry able to track it down. We'll go to Pullman. Ash in the middle. Got it off the block. Ashlyn Hughes gets the kill, ends the run of 4 straight, and it's at 10-8. Grace Johnson back to serve. This one, it will be over. Near the net, Ashlyn has put it down. Exactly what you're supposed to do. As soon as you see that ball coming right at you at that net, you just put it straight down. And Ashlyn Hughes does a good job at the former Muscuda Indian and now former Jefferson College Viking. Makes it a 1-point game. Vikings will send this one over. This will go to Pullman. Walton will set Porter right side, left-handed swing. Vikings will track it down. And they'll send this one over with more. Addy keeps it alive. Grace able to get there, but Swick cannot get a third hit. And it's 11-9. Jeffco by 2. Swick just trying to stay with them here for the long haul in this 4th set. And then kind of go from there. Ends up seeing what happens. This one will be over. Walton's there on the receive. We'll go to Gibbs, left side, going to be blocked. Abigail Bowers, the right side hitter, with the damage, 12-9. Swick will take a timeout. 12-9 in favor of the Vikings. We're about almost midway through this 4th set. Swick trying to make it 2 straight sets won and see if we can get a 5th set winner take all. We're back in a moment. 12-9 Jeffco here in the Swick Athletics YouTube channel.
Dropped the first two tonight. Down by 3 here. Ashlyn Hughes right out of the timeout. Swick able to execute. That's always what you want to do in that first point out of the timeout. Ashlyn takes care of that. 12-10. Brooke Miller will come in. Sophomore middle. This one's going to be over. Right side. Jeffco got it off the block. They get her right back. Abigail Bowers has been a name tonight for the Vikings. And they're back up by 3. It'll be the Jeffco libero and Maria Valdez service. She's had a pretty good night for the Vikings. Porter, left side. Soft tip over. Vikings are there. We'll set it left side. Here comes the swing. Gibbs got to find somebody. And the Vikings just put it straight down as it was play near the net. And it was Bowers again doing the damage. Largest lead in this fourth set. Swick coming back by Gibbs. Vikings will throw it left side. Here comes a swing. Down line. They're going to, was it out? It is. Swick does get the point. And Swick goes back to that rotation again with Worson and Furlow in, Pullman and Porter out. Addie back to serve. Should be 14-11, 3-point game. Addie will serve it. Gets it over. Vikings in the middle. Tip over. Walton trying to get there. Could not. It's another kill. 15-11. Vikings will serve this one. It'll go to Furlow. In the middle to Worson. Now for Miller. She got a spot. Brooke Miller been making some huge plays tonight. 15-12. Maddie will serve this one. It's going to be over. Vikings go right side. Here comes the tip over. Brooke hits it up in the air. Furlow, and it's going to come right back by Jeffco. Walton couldn't get there, and it's 16-12. Vikings by 4. Gibbs will come out. Bailey Henry back in for her. Jeffco will serve this one. Goes to Walton in the middle for Worson. Left side, Johnson, swing! There's Grace again coming through. 16-13. One of the top players in the country last year in kills who try to make a case to be in that conversation again as one of the best outsides at the Division I level. We'll Swick back within 3. Jeffco try to get it over into the net. 16-14. Swick back within 2. One coming here for Miller. And the best player on Ren Lake last year before transfer will send that one out. 17-14, she'll come out. Addie Walton back in. Swick back with a libero. Solando Sear will serve it. Freshman middle out of St. Louis. Launched that one out on the back line. 17-15. Swick back within 2. Porter and Pullman back in. Furlow Worson out, and it will be Lacey Pullman back to serve. Had an ace earlier. It was the second set. She'll look for another one here. Came in with 15 of them on the season. Lacey will serve this one over. Goes to the Jeffco libero. Will go left side. Swing. Walton's going to be there for Pullman. Left side for Johnson. Swing. That one's in. Swick back within 1. 17-16. As I mentioned, just got to stay with the Vikings for the long run. I was about midway through. They have stayed with them and now pull within 1 and a 17-16 score. Pullman will serve this one. Vikings are there in the middle. Swing, put down. Pullman couldn't handle it. 18-16, Vikings by 2. Next service over by Jefferson. We'll get this one over. Right side for Grace. Big swing. Blocked. They were ready for it. Swick's been going to Grace a lot here in this fourth set. And the Vikings were ready for it. 19-16 on the block. Another serve coming here. This will be Vikings get it over. This will be Porter on the receive. Goes to Pullman. Hughes in the middle. Jeffco off the net and not going to go. That's 3 hits. 19-17. Ashlyn Hughes pulls Swick back. Gibbs will come out. Gibbs will come in. Henry will come out. And it will be Grace Johnson back to serve again. Another opportunity to get Swick back within one. Hits the top net, gets over. Vikings will throw it right side. Swing, that one's out. Swick within one as there was no touch. Tied up at 19. Jefferson College had to use the timeout. Trying to put the pressure on him. Swick has tied things up now, looking for a late lead. Trying to be the first team to 20 in this fourth set. And it will not be there as it's going to be too strong and out. Vikings make it 20-19. And based off the numbers, all the volleyball games I've been able to call, usually that first team to 20 in a set, most of the time goes on to win it. Serve coming for Jeffco. This one will go to Walton on the receive. Pullman going left side for Gibbs. That one's going to be hit over. Vikings will go right side. They'll just tip it over, and that one's going to be a point for Swick on the violation. They're going to get to it. Yep, double hit. All right, tied up at 20. Hughes will come out. Miller will come in. Addie Walton, the sophomore. One of the 4 returners from last year at the line. Put a good serve on, but a free ball coming. Let's see if Swick can get him off balance here. Left-handed swing by Porter. They will! 21-20. Swick has taken the lead late in this fourth set. Get that free ball sent over, and every single time you get a free ball, you have to run that offense. Swick doing a good job of that. Always gets hold of me. Every time you get a free ball coming, you have to put it down. Porter going left side, especially with Vikings players all the way back, trying to get to that serve by Walton. Now here comes Jeffco getting it back, and they get it back indeed. Abigail Bowers responds, tied up at 21 here in set 4. They took the first two by 11 and 9 respectfully. Swick took the third by 6. And it's been pretty close here throughout this fourth one. Gibbs will go to Pullman. She'll set Miller. Tip over. Got it, Brooke Miller. Gives Swick the lead back. 22-21. Brooke Miller, the sophomore, playing in only her 6th game as a Blue Storm. As we 2 substitutions here. Once again, we see Werson and Furlow in. Pullman and Porter out. And you're going to get Addie back to serve again. She already has 2 aces tonight. Let's see if we get number 3 here. We'll get this one over. Vikings will go middle. Set. Coming to left side. Blocked. Brooke was there. Or it was going to be Furlow, actually. Nalea Furlow, the freshman out of Cape Girardeau, was there on the block. And Swick has made it 23-21. A 2-point lead. Another serve coming for Addie. Swick trying to get the set point. This one's going to be over. Vikings going in the middle. Free ball coming. Johnson will go to Werson in the middle for Brooke. It's going to be denied. Swick will come back right side. Furlow sent over. Vikings in the middle. Coming left side. Swing off the block. Addie's there in the middle. Goes to Walton. Left side for Gibbs. Put straight down. Grace Landosier all over it for the Vikings. 23-22. A 1-point game. Swick still in the driver's seat, I like to call it here in this spot. You have the advantage, just cannot give it up though. You can let Jeff go get a point here, tie it, but by the time you serve, you want to be at set point. 23-22, this one's going to be over. Johnson going to Werson. Miller trying to send it over. Landosier hit it, but her hand went over the net, and Swick will stay in that driver's seat. 24-22, set point. Trying to come back down 2-0 in sets and looking to take a winner-take-all set number 5. It will be up to the freshman Maddie Gibbs. It's over. Vikings, right side will go to the left. Swing coming. Addie's there in the middle. Throws it to Walton. Grace Johnson sends it over. Vikings come back. Fight for it near the net. Going backwards. Jeffco gets over the third hit. Swick lets it go out. And we're going to a winner-take-all set 5. But Swick showed some great effort there. Some great fight. Reminds me of the Swick volleyball team that won 10 straight last season and went on to the district tournament championship last season. They come back and take the 4th 25-22. Back in a moment for the 5th one, where Swick looks to come back and keep this 5-game win streak to open up the season alive, as they have the coin toss now, and we will get you the results on that one on what side and who will be serving to start off set 5 when we return. Back in a moment here from Swick. Welcome back here to Southwestern College. Swick has came back from being down 2-0 early in sets, dropping the first one by double digits, 25-14. Dropped the second, 25-16. Have came back, though, have taken the last two, 25-19, 25-22. Swick out here in the 5th set. We'll be out there with Layla Porter, Ashlyn Hughes, Grace Johnson, Lacey Pullman, Maddie Gibbs, Brooke Miller, Addie Walton, your libero waiting to come in here. As Swick is trying to do something they did not do at all last year, I believe. I have to go back and look at my notes from last season. I'm going to pull it up right now, actually, if I can go to my docs. I just do not think Swick came back down 2-0 at any point. As Swick is going to stay on your right side. They'll go right to left. And trying here to take this one against Jeffco. They've only have matched up twice over the last 14 years, with Jeffco taking them both. Going to a 5th. The Vikings will have it here, moving left to right. This one's going to be over. It'll be Gibbs going to Pullman in the middle. Porter swing left side, got it. Swick's on the board first here, 1-0. As Layla Porter gets things going for Swick. Grace Johnson will be back to serve. Grace will serve this one. Will go in the middle to the libero. Jeffco going it left side. Here comes the swing. That hit the antenna. 2-0. It's going to land anyway for Swick point. Blue Storm with an early 2-0 lead here in the 5th set. 2-0. Next serve here coming by Grace. This one is going to be over. Vikings will go in the middle, swing. Pullman trying to throw it for Gibbs. That's going to go out. And another point here for Jeffco. Swick unable to get it over there. Vikings have played in one game set this season. It was a loss down in New Mexico. Swick, first 5-set game of the season. Hoping to take it. This will go to Gibbs. Pullman going right side for Porter. That swing's going to be over. Against her former squad. Has just made it 3-1. In the middle. We'll go to Pullman. Right side. Left-handed swing, and it's 4-1. Layla Porter with 2 kills in this fifth set. And she has Swick with an early 5th set lead. Left side, go left side, swing. Addie gets it to Grace, and Walton sends it over on that free ball. Jeffco coming back in the middle. Lando Sear got it back. Vikings get 2 straight. They're going to look to go on a little rally of their own now as Swick started off this set with momentum on their side. Now it's coming back over to Jeffco. It's 4-3. I'm trying to think here if I think it is correct. Swick, not at any time last year, was able to take a game after losing the first 2 years. A swing by Miller down the left line. It's good for a kill, and it's 5-3. Swick up by 2 once again. Substitutions coming in. It's the same rotation with Nalea Furlow and Addie Worson coming in. Lacey Pullman and Layla Porter out, and it will send the sophomore setter back to serve. Blue Storm trying to make it a 6-0 start to the year. Jeffco, a tough team. They took the first 2. Swick has came back and taken the last 2, now looking to finish it off as we're just about early underway here, this 5th set, 5-3. Here comes a swing down right side. Addie is able to get there or go to Gibbs, and she'll pass out right on the right side for Furlow. Alea hits it over. Here comes Jeffco, left side swing. Blocked out, I believe it was the freshman out of Cape Girardeau, making it 6-3. And Swick is up by 3. Man, starting to see some of the freshmen come through now. And we're going to see that over the course of this season. More and more players stepping up. So we'll go to Worson after the serve. And Alea right side again. 7-3. Blue Storm by 4, their largest lead here in the 5th set so far. And Jeffco needs a timeout. The Vikings will take one. It's 7-3 here in the winner take-all set 5. Back in a moment. This is Blue Storm Volleyball here on the Southwestern College Athletics YouTube page. Vikings called a timeout, down 7-3. Swick will serve it out at a timeout here with Worson. They'll throw it left side for the Vikings. Off the block, it's going to go Gibbs. In the middle, Worson. She'll set Brooke in the middle. And Libero's there for Jeffco. They'll go right side swing. And a dig by Grace comes back over the net. Vikings try it again in the middle. Lando Sear. Addie keeps it up alive. Finds Gibbs now in the middle. A free ball coming by Worson. Almost found a spot in the back right corner. What a play by Jeffco. And it's going to be called for a point for Swick on a double touch. It's 8-3. Swick with their largest lead. I think this might be their largest lead of the night. Won the 3rd set and the 4th set, 25-19, 25-22. And if you're new here, that is the 8th point of the 5th set, and they will flip sides. I'll tell you, it was weird the first time I did that. I think we were at Wabash. I want to say it was the first 5-set game I did for Swick Volleyball last year, and I was like, "What are we doing?" You know, I've never seen that before. Used to 3 sets here in the IHSA Illinois girls volleyball. So Swick will now be on your left side. They'll move left to right as Worson will continue serving. She gets it over. Jeffco going right side. Swing put down, a big one there by the Vikings. Abigail Bowers, freshman right side out of Thayer, Missouri. And Jeffco switches sides, gets the first point right out of it. It's 8-4. They will send back a sophomore setter out of Turkey, Samra Uvas. Jeffco got a healthy mix of local players. A lot of, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of players from the Show Me State. And that's going to be killed for Brooke, another one. Man, she had a good game against Red Lake on Wednesday. And now tonight, she's been really good. As I'll say with Jeffco, kind of a mix. Couple players from Missouri, couple players international. 9-4. Swick is 6 points away. This will be Maddie Gibbs serving it here. The freshman gets it over. Jeffco in the middle. Lando Sear launches that one out. Do we have no touch? They're going to say it was a touch. Swick cannot believe it, as that one's a close one. I don't think I saw one, but point goes to the Vikings, 9-5. Gibbs will come out. We're going to see Bailey Henry come back in. She's kind of had a little bit of a tough night. One of the freshmen here only playing in her 6th game of the season. 6th game of her career, too. You got to make sure you emphasize the career, not season. But we've seen her. I thought she had a great, I think, what did I say, 400 hitting percentage against Ren Lake on Wednesday. So, I mean, she's had a good start to the year. Here's Worthing going to set left side. Grace, put that one down. She does! 10-5. Swick is up by 5, and they need 5. Looking to capture this winner-take-all 5th set and pull up the most unbelievable comeback you will see in quite some time. Ashlyn Hughes is in. Brooke Miller out. Addie Walton, your libero, serving it for the Blue Storm. In the middle, they'll throw it left side. Here comes a swing. Blocked. Jefferson College will try it again. Vikings going right side this time. Blocked again. And Swick goes up 11-5. Grace Johnson with the hands on it. And Swick is within 4. They have completely just kind of flipped things ever since the end of that 2nd set. And it was a rough start, 25-14, 25-16, but they're only 4 points away now from capturing this comeback win against Jeffco. Worthing will go left side with Grace, looking to put down another. She will, as that block is out of bounds, and it's 12-5. Swick within 3. They are within 3, folks. Don't know how these girls do it. Walton, another one coming. This will go to Moore off the receive. In the middle of the Lando Sear, off the block. Ashlyn able to hit it up in the air. Will go to Addie. She'll send it over. Here comes Jeffco coming back right side. Here comes a swing. It's good. Sent over down line. Addie's there. Goes to the other Addie and Worthing. Now we're to Nalea Furlow. She'll swing it over. Jeffco coming back from the back line. Swing and try to keep it up was Addie Worthing, but unfortunately unable to. And it is a kill for the Vikings, 12-6. It's a 6-point game. Swick with some momentum and a lead, too. It was 4-3, so Swick's currently went on an 8-3 run. Serve here by the Vikings. Going back to Grace. Off the block. Jeffco able to get it over. This will go right side with Furlow. Had it blocked. It's going to land. 12-7. And Jeffco with 2 straight. Kind of landed right in the middle of Nalea and Ash on the floor. And it's a 5-point game. Swick's got to be able to stay on top here. Cannot let Jeffco get 3 straight here. I say if they pull us within 2, they're going to be in trouble here on this serve rotation. Here's Ashlyn in the middle. She will make sure that doesn't happen. 13-7. The ex-Viking coming through it. It's a 2 points away from taking this one. 13-7. Swick will go to Layla Porter and Lacey Pullman. Nalea Furlow. Some big points there. Same thing with Addie Worthing. Thought she had some good place there during that rotation. Had a good service run, too, and she's second in service aces coming in. Pullman will serve this one. Jeffco in the middle. They'll throw it left side. Swing. Addie tried to keep it up. Couldn't follow it with another teammate as Ash was in the area but unable to keep it up alive. And it's 13-8. 5-point game. Swick still with the lead. Jeffco will serve it here. This one will be over from the Vikings. Bailey Moore in the middle. Ash try to go down line and goes too strong and out. 13-9. Jeffco's went 4-2 in the last 6 points. They've chipped away at it a little bit, but they'll have to go on a little more of a run here. Maybe 2 more straight. That would make it a little closer. Goes to Layla. She found a spot on the back line. 14-9. And it's game point here in favor of the Blue Storm, who have came back down 0-2 in sets and are 1 point away from taking this 5th set. Maddie Gibbs is in. It will be Grace Johnson serving. Going left side with Moore off the block. Got it. And here come the Vikings in a 14-10 game. They will need 4 straight to keep this one alive. It will all go down to the shoulders of Paige West with the game on the line, the sophomore defensive specialist. 14-10. Her serve is over right in the middle, goes to libero and Walton. Pullman sets left side, swing by Gibbs, kept alive by Jeffco. They'll throw it left side now, swing off the block. Grace able to get to it. Now goes to Lacey. Here comes left side swing, left-handed swing by Layla Porter. She got it. Swick's going to come back and win. 15-10 the final as Swick comes back and pulls up an unbelievable comeback to keep the win streak alive to start the year. Now 6-0, tying their best start. Tying their best start since 2014. 6-0 to start the year, coming back down 25-14, 25-16 to the first two sets. Winning the next three, 25-19, 25-22, and 15-10. Swick gets it done. We'll talk more about it after this. Okay. Welcome back in here to Southwestern Illinois College Swick Volleyball postgame show. Swick pulls out an unbelievable one, and one that kind of reminds me of last season, at the end of the season, where Swick showed a lot of fight, a lot of effort, and were able to come back in some games. I don't think Swick was able at all last year to come back down 2-0 down in sets in the game, but they did it here tonight. Dropping the first two, 25-14, 25-16. Take the third and fourth, 25-19, 25-22. End up taking the last one, the winner take all, 15-10. And we got this trend going on last night with Red Lake. We got up Brooke Miller, who transferred from Red Lake from last season going into this season. And we'll keep that going tonight with the former Viking of Jefferson College, Ashlyn Hughes. Ashlyn, I don't think there's any question to get you up here after tonight. Thanks for coming up. What's kind of going through you right now?
The first thought after we pulled off, I said, I just think that proves that I chose the right program for me. At Jeffco, it was really rough, hence to why I transferred. There was a lot of mental obstacles we went through, and I had never had a mental obstacle at SWIC. Coach Warren, I could not have asked for a better coach coming out of a tough program like that. And the first thing that went through my mind was I could not have chosen a better program for me, and I think the win just proves it.
I think there's a lot of things we could say tonight, but kind of the first thing I wanted to talk about in this win is how you guys were able to come back. I think we talked about it a little bit this morning. You guys didn't play your greatest, especially at the start of yesterday against Red Lake.
Right.
Same thing here again tonight. You guys go down early. I think it was 6-5 us, and then they go on, I think, a 4 or 5-0 run, and then they start adding on. You guys are unable to cut into that deficit. They dropped the first 25-14. You dropped the second 25-16. Talk about you guys out of that, going into that third set, backs against the wall down 2-0. What are you guys going through your heads? What are you guys thinking?
I think we all kind of agreed that the main thing we were missing was energy, and there was no communication. Yes. And I think everybody could agree on that, as we weren't communicating. And it's only the 6th game, so we're still figuring things out. We have been practicing since June, but at the end of the day, we haven't been playing in actual games since June. So I think we were just kind of trying to figure out, how are we going to get this energy? How are we going to get this momentum? How are we going to stay in this game and fight? And I really think, it comes down to everybody. We're playing as a team. We're not playing as individuals. We're not thinking about our own selves. We're coming together as a unit and playing together as a team. And I think that's what clicked in third set, honestly, is us getting our momentum back and us clicking.
Look at, for you guys, I think in that fourth set and fifth set, we saw a lot of freshmen come through. I thought Nalea Furlow was really good. Layla Porter had some big swings as well. As you as a sophomore, you're kind of one of the leaders on this team. To see that from your freshman teammates early on, I think that's got to be really good.
I could not be more proud of them. There was a moment where Layla was down and she didn't feel confident to herself, and I looked at her and I said, you play your game. You do whatever you need to do. You play. You go out there, and honestly, I'm so proud of every single freshman. I know there's a lot of nerves and everything, and especially last night there was a lot of nerves and there was a lot of just tension, and I could not be more proud of the way we stepped up tonight and we finished that game. I just think that really proves that we have it this year.
To you, being a part of this team, what does it mean to you guys to be 6-0 and now off to your guys' best start since 2014, tying your best start as a program since 2012, and now, you guys are going to be, I'm not sure how many undefeated teams are left, but there's not many probably left at the Division I level. What does that speak? What does that mean to you and this roster right now, to your group of girls, that you guys are succeeding right now?
Right. I honestly think it proves to us and it proves to everybody that we have it, that we do have the capability to go all the way this year, and I think we just need to keep pushing, keep moving forward. After OWT, we were a little nervous going into it, and then we went into it and we came out 4-0. And I think that's when we were like, wait, we're going to be good this year. Because, you never know going into the first games. And then we beat Rend Lake last night, and we were like, wait. And now we just beat a huge team like Jeffco, who has a lot of international players. They have a really strong hitters. They got good defense. They have good setters. And us being able to beat them, I think it really just proves to us that we can go all the way, and it makes us have more confidence in ourselves.
Look at for you guys, we talked about you guys will get Vincent's in the middle area next week, and kind of the question is, how long can you keep this winning streak going? And it's going to be 2 tough opponents next Friday. For you guys, you guys are going to get almost a week off here, 6-7 days before then. For you guys, what do you think you guys need to do well, over the next week, work on, and be ready for those 2 opponents next Friday?
Yeah, I think we need to work on figuring out a way to start a game better, figuring out a way to bring the momentum onto the court immediately as soon as first serve goes up. I think another thing we could work on is setter-hitter connections, but that's always going to be a thing you need to work on, is setter-hitter connections. There's never going to be a perfect connection no matter how hard you work on it. And I also think our out-of-system. I think Jeffco really proved tonight they didn't have the best serve-receive, but they had good out-of-system, which is what was tough for us, because we have good serve-receive, but also there's always going to be a ball that's like a 2-ball or 1-ball. We really need to work on serve receive and being able to hit off out of system balls and being able to get a good big swing out of system balls.
Ashlyn, thanks for coming up. Congrats.
You're
tonight.
welcome. Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Be back in a moment. Ashlyn Hughes, our player of the game guest tonight. Swick comes back in comeback fashion, winning in 5. Wrap it up here. We're going to be back with Swick Volleyball. Be on the road next Friday over in Vincennes as the Blue Storm will get the Trailblazers and the Cardinals of Mineral Area on a doubleheader next Friday. And we'll be excited to see that will hit the road. I believe it's 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. So we'll be on the air at about 1:50 for that first one. We'll be on the air. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. I'll probably stay on the air for that second game, and I'll have some probably interview or something I can get before the second game against Middle Area, which is the goal. But anyway, folks, that wraps it out here for tonight. You can find me tomorrow. I'm just going to go ahead and plug this one real quick because we have Swick soccer on Saturday. Men's soccer against Greenville University. We'll have that for you here. But you can find me tomorrow night. I'm going to be on the call for some Friday night high school football across or down the street at Belleville East as the Lancers will get the K-Hawks of Collinsville in week 1. I'll have the call tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Pregame show on the Belleville East Athletics YouTube channel begins at 6:30. I'll take you through that one tomorrow. If you care to join me, high school football, it's football season. Well, I've been watching the Missouri Tigers tonight. To the left of me, I got my Mizzou pullover on, of course. It's a tradition. I usually don't, I never try to wear something that's different from the teams I'm covering, but it's a special night. Mizzou football's on, and that's what's I gotta rock Mizzou and open it.